Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video we're going to have a look at some data mines for good old War Thunder, thanks to Ashida and also Chabby. The data mines cover a bunch of different topics, basically the new nation RP bonuses, some of the rewards have been revealed, a bunch of stuff has been added to the game as well, such as different camos, and also a ton of armor changes for Ground Forces 2, and a lot of exclusive decals, which have already come in for stuff like DMM. We'll go over all of it in this video. I apologize for cutting the stream short, by the way, today. Unfortunately, the area started flooding, so basically a bunch of burst pipes, and needed to obviously sort that out. We'll be back tomorrow with streaming, and also doing the event. Let me know how the event's going for you. Also, as an extra thing, I've said that I will open a 80 million SL worth of crates if the video from yesterday with the travel suitcase loot box gets to 1,000 likes. It's at 900 right now, so yeah, you're guaranteed 50 million, but if you want to see 80 million, that's where you'll find it. Right, let's get into the research changes. I'll make a bunch of timestamps for you, and also make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can get some more news. Let's get into it. So the first part of the data mines is talking about the PBM-5A. This is the new Battle Pass hydroplane, which has come in for the Americans. This vehicle is one I've looked forward to for a long time. Got leaked ages ago, years and years ago, and kind of shows that even if something is leaked a long time ago, it can still make it into the game. The vehicle's dorsal turret got changed. Basically, its elevation is now only 80 instead of 90, and the limits and dead zones increased around the wings and tail too, so basically the gunners aren't as effective as they used to be. Another really sad change is the torpedoes now block the gears, so you can't extend your gears if you have torpedoes attached, but the nice thing about it is they moved the hangar to the hydroplane's hangar, so it sits in the water, which looks really cool. By the way, if you're interested, War Thunder Live has a ton of really cool custom hangars. I know console players can't get access to them, which sucks, but at the same time, if you're on PC, it's worth checking out it, because I think overall it's one of those parts of the game which is super fun. They also added the new GE wager for the Battle Pass. Now, this is for the naval box. If you don't have the naval box, if you have all of the naval vehicles in the box, then it gives you access to the wager. I actually unlocked the wager, and it only gave me 100,000 SL and also one collector Golden Battles wager. So it gave me half the prizes that it was supposed to, which sucks, you know, that's not how it's supposed to be. The G wager itself is 12 stages, 3 fails, ranked 3 to 8 vehicles, and you can get 1,000 G overall if you get a kill and wins as you go along. But yeah, it kind of sucked that I only got half the prize there. I don't know if other people have had that issue, but for me, that's what I got. So we'll have to see if that's a bug, or if it's supposed to be like that. If it's supposed to be like that, that just absolutely sucks. They added a bunch of new images, mainly for the Gamba, which we've seen, so the new headers, and also they added our boy Raymond, the page of history boy, Raymond Dramon, one of the, one of the really cool French guys from the Second World War. As I said when we talked about the page of history previously, it is well worth looking into his history, because he has a really, really cool one. They're also adding in an M1A2 and a T80 BVM Twitch drop skin, so this will probably be for the next tournament series that they do. They've been doing a lot of these recently, obviously attached to the esports trophies to try and garner more revenue for the esports scene, and we'll have to see if it grows. We'll have to see if they change some stuff. Obviously, they've employed a lot of content creators and all of that stuff, but yeah, it's really interesting to see how that's kind of developing, and whether it will ever get to a point where it'll be sustainable outside of the free stuff that they give. But so far it doesn't seem so, especially with the amount of money that they're pumping into it. But if you kind of see them as the same thing, then I suppose it is sustainable. I mean, but the problem is you could literally just have a black screen there and give away the free stuff, and it would probably get similar viewership, and that's the problem, right? Like, that's the issue with the whole thing. They also added a new image for Streaks, Survivance, Extra War Points, which is basically about the SL that you can get, bonuses, which are around, and also they changed the trophy image for the Silver Summer header, which is, once again, just a bunch of gacha stuff. Now, here we go. This is the important part, the bit that many have been looking forward to, the new nation RP bonuses. Now, this has been a heavily contested topic for a long time, and since it's still not in the game, I have to just reiterate, remember, this is not here yet, so this can easily change. It's in testing right now on live for the devs. It's locked to the devs, but just understand, alright? This is a time for discussion. This is a time for conversation. This is a time for you to put forward what you want to see out of the game. So the way that it works right now, the battle count is 3, which means this affects you for 3 battles. Time spent in battles is 30 minutes, so this won't be there for a whole simulator session, for example, but for all of the other game modes, which are 25 minutes long, it'll affect the whole battle. Aircraft and tanks, it is a increasing percentage that it affects over time. So basically rank 4 for aircraft and tanks, it's 25% bonus. Rank 5 is 50, rank 6 is 75, rank 7 and 8 are 100%, and then for helicopters, rank 5 is 50, rank 6 is 90, and rank 8 is 100. So this is how much of an effect the RP bonuses will have on your base RP, which is what they talked about doing about a year ago. We'll have to see if that changes or not. And then ships, rank 4 is 35, rank 5 is 70, rank 6 is 100, and for boats, so coastal, rank 4 is 40 and rank 5 is 100%. So as you go up the ranks, you basically get a higher bonus, which, you know, makes sense because obviously as you go up the ranks, the RP itself costs way more, so you need more of a bonus to kind of sustain it. And at the same time, they added in a bunch of bonus texts as well talking about it. Now remember, the way that this is going to work is if you have a specific vehicle which is researched in a specific tech tree. So let's say the end-of-the-line vehicle for the US, the F-16. If you have that researched, then, and I'm guessing bought, yeah, you have to buy it as well, so you have to pay the SL for it. This means for the 9 other tech trees in the game, for aviation, you get 3 battles in each of those nations where you get a bonus amount of RP in those 3 battles. So technically, you know, that's 9 times 3, which is, what, 27? So 27 battles overall for all of the other nations. Plus, on top of that, one of the interesting things is if you have the same for ground, then that's another 27 battles. If you have that for naval, like, I can't remember how many naval tech trees there's in the game. Like, well, there's 2 per nation, and there's, what, like, 6 nations, I think, which have naval? Not entirely sure. So that's a ton of them as well. Basically, 50 battles a day, if you actually, like, do it properly, where you will get this bonus. Which is just not... Actually, it's way more than 50 battles, right? It's probably like 60 or 70. Now, the problem with this is it doesn't seem to affect lower rank stuff. Nothing under basically rank 4. So you'll still have to research up to rank 3 with these nations and get into rank 4 to get any part of these bonuses. And that kind of sucks, because the whole point of these things is to try and get people to play different tech trees. Now, we can always, like, discuss and, you know, argue about how hard it is to get into rank 4 for a nation, but for people who have jobs, for people who have, you know, not a ton of time, they have a ton of family, and, you know, they have other obligations, it still takes a lot of effort to get into that rank 4 bracket, and that kind of sucks. So I would like to see at least some kind of bonus to try and incentivize people to start tech trees in order for them to get these bonuses later on. That's how I would set it up. Now, they have added 2 texts for this too, which is kind of cool. So the first one is, by purchasing the top-end vehicle of this type in any research tree, you will unlock a daily bonus that will contribute to your progress for this vehicle. For this vehicle type in other gaming nations. Each gaming nation without a top-end vehicle will receive a battle count bonus, which is the battle count equals battles over battles every day, which is basically 3, allowing you to effectively explore many different and unique vehicles at once. Get ready to take your military power to the next level, which is a way of putting it. Yet. Then you have congratulations! You have reached a major milestone in your research. There is a top-end vehicle of this type in your hangar, which means that you have access to a daily bonus for researching vehicles of those gaming nations in which you don't yet have any top-end vehicles of this type. Get ready to take your research to the next level with your achievements in-game and enjoy the daily bonuses. The remaining number of bonus battles are for X countries. The number of bonus battles is updated daily at X time. So basically every 24 hours you get bonus research, which is really cool. And we're going to have to see how much of an effect this actually has. But the fact that we're going to 0 to something is massive, right? That's a huge change compared to what we got before. And obviously, this is to promote people playing other nations, and I really hope it works, because, as I've said many times, for me, the key in War Thunder is to actually play a bunch of different stuff, to enjoy yourself, to try different things, instead of doing the same stuff over and over and over again. And what leads to people, I feel like, getting annoyed at the game is just playing one tech tree over and over and over, doing the same things over and over and over, getting super immersed in the grind, but then kind of falling apart because of it. And that makes me sad when I see it. So to see a system which is kind of designed to fix that is really cool. And I'm hoping that people take after it. I'm not sure people will be happy with these bonuses, though, let's be honest. These bonuses are something which are going to be heavily debated, and also we're going to have to see their effect once they're in the game. The next part is there's a new text for when a vehicle is in a special offer on your wish list. So basically it tells you if it's in your wish list. Now those special offers, I mean, we've talked about them in the past. There was a new version of them recently and they were absolutely awful. So the vehicles that are on offer are usually quite nice, but the cost of them is still way too expensive, and they usually tack something onto it to make it even more pricey, and it's just not worth it. So unless there's special offers which really make sense, then there's no point in going for it. Remember, War Thunder has a ton of sale seasons now. Like, then they're very, very choreographed. We know what's going to happen in them, so just wait for those. The next big one is in November for the anniversary, and don't worry, I'll make sure to cover that for you. Then we have a new image, which is kittens, which seems like a background or a loading screen for kittens. And basically, it's kittens on a shell. Now, you may remember with Enlisted is actually released on Steam now. So, you know, you can go and play it for free. You know, none of this nonsense with DLC expansions or anything like that. But Enlisted was one of those games which launched on Steam and was taken off Steam approximately, I don't even know, half a day afterwards. And the reason is because people were just not happy with the launch. It was awful. You had to pay to play of a free-to-play game, and basically they trotted out the kittens. So the We Are Sorry kitten came out, just the AI-driven kitten, just to say, hey, you know, we apologize, we'll get it right next time. And now Enlisted is on Steam, and it is free for everybody. Everybody can play it, and it's around. And at the moment, it has approximately 2,600 players through Steam, which is cool to see. So hopefully, you know, people can have a bit of fun with it and enjoy it as it goes. It does have quite a high 24-hour peak of 4,500, so yeah, it's nice to see people enjoying it. But yeah, don't be surprised if in War Thunder they trot out the kittens once again, just to be like, hey guys, you know, we know that when it comes to Steam, it's one of the only platforms which is public, where you can visibly kind of say, you know, what you want about the company without it getting, you know, removed or targeted or moved around. But please look at the kittens and be happy, and and go from there, which is quite fun. The AFT-07E missile, they removed the guidance wire on it, so it'll be a little bit harder to see. And then also they added all the information about our boy Raymond, so Raymond's in it. A bunch of armor changes came in for ground vehicles. The major ones is actually the Autoloader armor. Basically all of the Soviet tanks in all of the different tech trees, so including stuff like the T-72M1 for example, they all had extra armor around their autoloader. They all had about 6 or 5 millimeters worth of structural armor, which was around the autoloader. This could have caused issues with how it was taking damage, and they're all gone now. So technically, it should be easier to get through that area, and hammer down on the setup. Maybe that was one of the issues that was causing problems going forward. They also improved the seeker warm-up of all of the active radar homing missiles and added a bunch of DMM exclusive decals. This was for their anniversary. I believe it's the 8th anniversary for DMM. Now remember, you can get access to these decals if you have an international account. You have to sign up for DMM in order to do it through your account. Don't do it though. And the reason to not do it is because once you do that, you lose all of the international services, meaning that you lose access to the Gaijin store, you probably lose access to the market, and you lose access to everything else. So I know it sucks. I know it sucks that you can't get these decals, especially since a lot of them are pretty weeby, and you know, there's a decent amount of the community in War Thunder that likes its anime waifus, but at the same time, just please don't do it, okay? There's no point in getting your account locked, because technically the DMM service is for people who are in Japan. And if you're not in Japan, it's against their terms of service to be able to use their platform. You get so much more on the international server. Don't worry. We now have body pillows in the international server. You can have your digital waifus. You don't have to do it through DMM. Also, they brought back the Lightning Mark 53, which shouldn't be too surprising. And also in the Datamine, which is quite nice, is basically all the stats on the F-14A. But we've already had a look at it. The basic things that we didn't have a look at were the repair costs, but the repair costs are pretty standard. They have the F-14 for Iran has exactly the same flight model as the one in the standard American tech tree, the F-14A Early. And what is actually really cool about this event is they've added a bunch of stuff that they kind of didn't have to. So they added the stat card flag for Iran, which wasn't in the game before. Obviously the new avatar, Jalil Zandi, which they brought in. They added a new decoration for Hakenden, but my guess is that is for DMM since it's a bunch of swords. But they added a bunch of different stuff to the game, which is really awesome. And they did that all specifically for this vehicle. So I'm hoping that they get utilized in the future and we get more Iranian stuff, because if I'm honest, Iran is one of those countries which has a bunch of really weird and fun kind of military equipment. Incredibly fun quad bikes, which have access to ATGMs, SPAA stuff, and also general missiles. I think that stuff is really, really fun. They also, at the same time, have some new ground AB techs, which are Save Your Aircraft, again, extra reward. The Safe and Sound additional award too, so it looks like they're going to be bringing in some more rewards if you survive in your vehicle. Maybe they're going to add in that area of the battlefield where you can leave your vehicle safely and move into another one, kind of what was in World War mode, which would be kind of cool. And they also removed all the bananas from the hangar, which we talked about earlier. Very sad. Hopefully everybody got that stuff sorted. And also the F-16 AM-15, which is the new Benelux F-16, which is the end-of-the-line vehicle. The sight thermal is now available for stock, so you'll be able to see that straight away. And the E100 and the mouse, they did talk about in the changelog earlier that the breech was changed. Well, guess what? It was 10mm, so you could literally kill it with a machine gun. It is now 150, which brings it in line with pretty much everything that we have. The Tails RDY, also they added the missile launch zone indicator, which is really nice. They added that in the last update for a bunch of other radars. Nice to see it come in for the Tails. And then also all of the other changes that we talked about in the changelog today that they set up too. The other interesting thing as well is the Invincible Lag 3 Pilot Challenge was changed. Basically, wins needed for full completion. It used to be 200 in AB, 100 in RB, and 67. It's now 30, 15, and 10. And for the Focke-Wulf 190 Ace and Invincible A5 Pilot, you can now be completed in the A5U14 as well, which is really cool to see. My hope with those things is they get tagged into something which is kind of larger. There's been a lot of discussion over the last year about convertible research points, because let's be honest, there's a ton of us now which have a metric amount of it and just nothing to do with it. So I think it might be worth having a look at how we can kind of push that forward and how we can find new uses for it. But that is obviously a story for another day. That is the whole Datamine. Thank you once again to Ashida for posting it. Thank you all for watching.
I'd just like to thank
and I'll see you next
GMG
time.
Smiley
CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.